Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Behind center, they've gotten some strong play from this fella. He's got his touchdown pass total up into double digits now in the season. It'll be interesting to see if he continues to increase it here in this one. It's the Broncos going up against the Buccaneers. With that, let's get out to Raymond James Stadium. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their
In the backfield is Anderson, and he'll get it up the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So it'll be first down here after the run.
C.J. Anderson may not be a Pro Bowl runner, but he knows how to run big in big games.
Yeah, he sort of sealed the Super Bowl for them in the fourth quarter. Big game against the Patriots last year on a Monday night, but only 720 yards all told in 2015. So the offense lining up 1st and 10.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Back to the ground, Anderson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they thought they could exploit this defense with some really quick hitters, quick action. They worked on that in practice. We just saw it there.
And we saw them break it down to the fundamentals as well. Each position group had their own little work on it. You know, they worked on a drill here with the receivers, a drill there with the quarterbacks. Then they brought it all together, and now it's paying off in the game.
It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Demaryius Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you think to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator is relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Stays on his feet. Hauled in by Wheaton over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 1 quarter down. 7-0 is our score. We'll return to Tampa after this message. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Again, Anderson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down following the run.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Forsett. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Again, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And Huff reels it in. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Green's got it over the middle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete.
Holding offense.
Good work.
That penalty is declined.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. They run. Anderson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They come out here in the eye. Back to throw here. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the first-rounder, Vernon Hargreaves. And this one will be brought. And Denver getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence.
C.J. Anderson. And all the way home for a Broncos score. C.J. Anderson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I said go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 4. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Hauled in by Wheaton over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line. That room to run, just not there.
You mentioned last week that it felt like the offensive line was getting beaten to the punch by the guys across the ball.
Well, it was pretty evident, I thought.
I mean, they were off the ball fast, penetrating, getting into the offensive backfield, really spilling a lot of runs before they got started. So I thought your observation was spot on then, and you're right there again this week. Same thing is happening, not able to get started because they're not able to control the point of attack.
Here we go now.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Tackle is made by Clinton McDonald. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Here we go now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Buying time to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Josh Huff. So the Broncos coming out now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Here we go now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 23 yards on the play. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
In my book, that's running the ball well but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And certainly not the same level of production this week as last. A couple of those catches last week, he was able to just find the soft spot, sit there, and corral it. I don't know what it is. He seems to be really covered up in this one, though.
Yeah, no soft spots here, and I put this on the play caller a little bit. Got to find some things that will shake him free. Maybe you change your formations and make him an isolated guy on the backside so it's a one-on-one route. Maybe you put him into a stack and maybe hide him a little bit so that maybe he finds some place to run. You just got to come up with different opportunities to get the ball in his hands just to get him open and get him moving. Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it two different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
He'll look to throw, and that's incomplete. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Following the penalty, Anderson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He's got time. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Remember how much we enjoyed watching him last week?
It's the same thing this week. Look at those numbers.
I'd hate to be a defender right now because no matter what they're throwing at him in terms of coverages, he's finding ways to defeat it. And even when he's covered, he's not covered. What is he doing? What's that term they use? He's uncovering.
And back now in Tampa. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. On second down, Anderson. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
1st and goal, they'll look to smash it in. Maybe a quarterback sneak here. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try and sneak it here. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. It's a quarter fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bucs defense. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And his guys are going to get the football at the 30. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 7 yards to go on 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
In the backfield is Anderson. And they'll give it to him here. Oh, what a move. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Caught. It's Huff. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Broncos a first down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. The ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. C.J. Anderson, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they miss blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block it, and he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball. And that didn't happen on that play.
Now Anderson. Down right around the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there. And it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side. Instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Let's go!
They run it again with Anderson. Anderson loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the... And coming out now, the Broncos. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jude I.J. Barima. And a big turnover. Denver getting set to take the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Oh, now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
Third down. Here's Forsyth. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Back to throw. He's got bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And some room to roam now. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Broncos, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, I'm off to the airport. Charles will be on I-4 back to Windermere as we say so long from Tampa.
Have a nice trip. I'll be home before you even take off.